Welcome back. It is Halloween, so how about a ghost story? The one we're about to tell you takes place at Jonathan Dickinson State Park in Martin County.
You may recall back in August, local residents were fighting to preserve the park as a controversial plan to bring a golf course onto the land was picking up steam.
Yeah, that golf course proposal is now off the table, so the spooky spirit from the past doesn't have to intervene. Our Mike Magnoli introduces us to the ghost of Trapper Nelson.
Rolling on the river in a skiff rented from the concession stand at Jonathan Dickinson State Park. I am headed to a remote campsite, only accessible from the water. It's a legendary place, once home to a famous outdoorsman. He gave up most modern comforts to live out in nature. Before I show you the sweet spot, let's talk about the guy who locals referred to as Trapper Nelson, wild man of the Loxahatchee.
I was fascinated by the guy, how he could live like that, so far from the rest of civilization.
Steve Winston is a magazine writer who gravitates towards forgotten frontiers. He learned about Trapper Nelson by talking with locals, and they told him that Trapper moved to Martin County in the 1930s. Then for 3 decades, he hosted tourists at a kind of zoo he had built deep in the woods, showing off the animals he captured to city slickers looking for adventure, especially the ladies.
He was 6'4", 240 pounds, muscle, every inch of it, you know, and he usually walked around his complex in just like a Tarzan thing there, you know. And I'm sure he did it probably with the intention of meeting some of the women who came to see the complex.
Those women would have had to step off onto this dock and walk up the short path to Trapper Nelson's secluded hideaway. There's some small buildings. You feel as if you've reached a jungle outpost. Trapper tooled around in this Willie's Jeep. And here, his cages.
He'd never seen the inside of a Publix in his life. What he ate, he had killed a day or two before, including alligators, snakes, apparently Florida panthers, just about anything that moved and had more than 2 legs, he would eat for dinner.
So is there a ghost haunting this clearing? Maybe. In 1968, a friend came to check on Trapper Nelson and found him dead, a shotgun wound to the stomach. The coroner ruled it a suicide, and Nelson had told some of his pals he wasn't going to be around for much longer. Health problems he didn't want to endure. Nevertheless, some of the locals gossiped about foul play. Could he have been shot by a woman with a crush? Or her husband? Whether it was by his own hand or a scorned lover, folks told Steve Winston the loinclothed Trapper Nelson wasn't entirely gone.
The stories I heard was that he wasn't really dead because a number of people located in the surrounding area claimed to have seen him. One of them was a woman who, she was married, but she was apparently a very good-looking woman. And she claimed that one night she was sleeping and he came up to her window and started knocking on it. She never let him in. He had said something to her like, "Gee, you're really pretty. I wish I wasn't dead because I would come in."
And more where that came from. Stories about a ghost who touched women on their rear ends or whistled at them from the trees. And adding to his charm, it seems that Trapper Nelson was a man with some money. Charging people an admission fee to his zoo, it all added up over the years. So we're inside Trapper Nelson's cabin. It feels around every corner there's some sort of story. Here in the fireplace, park rangers found his hidden treasure back in the 80s. 5,000 golden coins in here.
And he almost seemed to have a presence inside the cabin, as I remember.
Well, if Trapper's spirit is still in HOBE Sound, I didn't find him during my visit to his homestead, but I wouldn't want my wife stepping out here. In Jonathan Dickinson State Park, I'm Mike Magnoli, CBS 12 News.
Hi, I'm Matt Lincoln for CBS 12 News. Click the like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more stories like this that impact you.